Hi, guys. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Jo Labbé, here with Star Nation's Radio Network, care of Be Live TV. So excited to be here the day after Christmas. The energy is really high for doing clearing and healing because it's a time of year when we're all connected to family and to our sense of the divine. And so the energy is really reared up and ready to go. I guess that's the best way to put it. So welcome to those of you who are here with us. As we always do at the beginning of the broadcast, I encourage you to like and share the broadcast so that we can reach some more people, because that's part of our spiritual mission to help heal the healers. And this is one of the great ways for all of the healers to do some self-healing and some self-care, because this time of year, as we do much throughout the year, we focus our attention on other people and bringing goodwill and cheer to them. And sometimes we get a little run down energetically. And so this is a way for us to boost our own energy and also to kind of work on anything that we're ready to release at the end of this year. It's kind of exciting because we're about to head into the new year, and this is the last broadcast for me in the 2018. So this is your last chance this year to release energy with me and my spiritual team, and can move into what's new. And what would you like to bring in for the new year? Those are all things you can think about while we're doing our healing meditation. I have some things that I'm ready to let go of, including an interesting cold that I've got and a number of people I know out here who have it. And I want to say thank you to all of you who came to visit on the winter solstice here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary, because we had a lovely evening with a number of people and shared food and community and healing. And it was just a really lovely night. And even the kids were fun to have around. We had our little young healer. We have a young healer who's 9 years old, and he was even working on the tables. We lowered a table just for him so he could do his work, and it was great to see him stepping into what he loves to do too. So welcome, guys. And after the meditation, I will be pulling cards for people and giving you the divine messages that are coming through. And all you have to do is say, yes, please. And then that will be there for you. And I pull them in the order that we draw them. So the people who ask, that's exactly the order I'll pull the cards in, because it's really the best way for us to keep track. And don't worry, I will get to every single person who asks for it live. And I do my best after the broadcast to, give cards for people who ask as well. A little difficult because of the holiday weekend, and the holiday time, but I will, as I said, I will do my best for those of you who watch in the archives. So I'm going to invite you to get ready for our meditation. My team seems to be on the edge of let's get this started. I'm hearing that song in my head. Let's get it started. Yeah. Who is that? No Doubt or something. But it's like, all right, let's get started. Let's get started. So my team is ready to rock and roll. So I invite you to get comfy. You want your arms and your legs uncrossed so that we keep our circuits nice and wide open. And we want to make sure that you are able to really give yourself some time and some space to do the meditation. One thing that we want to make sure we do is that we stay grounded. And that just means that you want to be connected to the earth energy as much as you can, so that the energy we're releasing has somewhere to go. We don't want it to ricochet around your body because that wouldn't be any good. And my spiritual team is giving me a quick message about there are those of you who are doing your own healing work. And remember that the healing remedies that I have available on my website, trinityhealingsanctuary.com, those are meant to teach your energy body how to do what it's meant to do. So like the energy detox blend teaches your energy body how to release energy and not hold on to it. And so there are a lot of people who are practitioners who need that, or who need a little help activating more psychic protection so that they don't take on so much energy from their clients or from friends and family. So my team is just reminding you that those are training tools that you can use, once we're done with the meditation, on how to help you help yourself. All right? All right. So let's get ourselves started. And I apologize ahead of time if I'm cough at all, because, it's that time of year. And apparently I'm really working on my throat chakra. So we're going to call in the divine however you perceive that. No matter how you connect to the divine, it is your unique way. Yeah. And I'm going to be making clearing noises that sound like that, for those of you who haven't been here before. Yeah. And we're going to ask the divine to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. Good. And I'm also going to encourage you to create a second bubble around the room that you're in, so you have that second layer of protection and can just feel comfortable and relaxed. And we set the intention that this healing will be for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. Let's invite in your spiritual team, your entire spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your star beings, your mystical creatures, your animal totems, ascended masters, all divine, of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to you and to us in this moment of now. Yeah. 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 We're going to begin by connecting to the divine energy at the crown of our head. Just notice what it feels like to be connected. Notice whether you feel pressure or tingling, you sense light or heat or cold, or maybe you just have a knowing that the divine energy is right there ready to connect with you. And we each experience this in a different way, and each way is perfectly set up for us. We have our own unique pathway. Yeah. And we're going to call in the divine energy to begin to move in to the top of our head, into our third eye, and around our brain, and really calm all of the energy down. All the spinning ideas and thoughts, beliefs, patterns, any energy that is distracting us from being in this moment right now. We're going to call back home the energy that's in the past, worrying about what was, or wishing it was different, or going back over and over some event, just really bringing that energy back. And bringing it back into your breath and into your heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. And now calling the energy back home that's in the future. The things that you're worried about, that you have anxiety about, the to-do list that needs to get accomplished, all of those things can wait until after you're done with your healing. So bring your energy back into this moment, back into your breath. Very good. And we ask to be connected to our spiritual team. Open up all of those channels so that we are connected to all of our team in all the ways possible. All the ways that we are willing to receive our messages.
Yeah.
Whether we hear them or see them or sense them, or they come in through symbols or patterns or dreams. And clearing away any foggy energy that we have in our third eye, anything blocking our clear knowing and our clear perception. Sort of unfogging the glass so that we can see fully what is in front of us. And so we may receive all the information from all of our senses, including our intuition, and have them work together as a spiritual team within us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And opening our ears so that we can hear fully not only our spiritual team, but those around us. Hear what is being said and unsaid.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And releasing all the tense energy in your jaw, all the ways you've had to bite your tongue maybe recently. Just allowing that energy to relax. And opening and expanding all the way down into your throat chakra. Opening up your throat so that you have room to speak your authentic truth. And that's been a big message lately. It's time to speak your authentic truth right from your heart. So we want to release any energy that we've been holding on to, any words that we've held back in fear or in anger, and anything that is hanging out in the back of your throat and in your neck, all that stress and tension you're holding on to there. It's all the ways that you haven't been able to express yourself. So even stretch your neck if you need to and give yourself some space for that energy to move.
Yeah.
Feel as it goes down your shoulders. And if you feel tightness in your shoulders, that's all the responsibility and all the burdens that you've been carrying for you, for others. Just imagine your team taking all of that energy off your shoulders, massaging it out of your neck, and just allowing it to just release.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of doing in the last week, so just releasing the doing and stepping into your being.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Allowing the energy to move down into your heart and really start to open and expand your heart. And just take a few breaths and just feel the energy expand. Feel light filling and opening. And as it's releasing, allow any old grief or sadness or disappointment to gently melt away. You don't have to feel it or re-experience it. Just be willing to let it go so that you can have more room to breathe and to live your life fully. And allow that divine oxygen to flow through your heart, into your veins and your tissues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeding your organs and your muscles so that your whole body can regenerate in this moment if you so choose.
Yeah.
And connecting to your inner child and really noticing if your child is excited and joyful and playful, or do they feel heavy like they're carrying some burden or some trauma for us still? And if you need to, send healing to your child so that they can feel loved and supported by you.
Yeah.
And they can remind you the true happiness and joy that can be part of your life every day, all the magic and wonder that the child energy can activate within us.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then connecting to your inner adult and just giving the adult a moment to be free of responsibility. Have gratitude for all the ways that it helps you in the doing parts of your life. But releasing all the stress and the overwhelm that they may be carrying,
Yeah.
especially if you haven't had much time to breathe lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And connecting to your inner warrior, giving them a moment where they can be at peace, having gratitude for all the ways it helps you to take action and to advocate your truth.
Got it. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And connecting to your inner sage, that elder who has been with you in each and every lifetime, who has access to all the knowledge that you've accumulated in every lifetime, and just opening the communication so that you can have an inner knowing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to relearn old lessons, but can simply remember them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving into the third chakra, into your belly, right below your rib cage, and releasing all the fear energy that you may be holding on to. And fear manifests in many ways in our body. It can be anxiety or stress and overwhelm, sometimes even panic.
Yeah.
Oh, some of that there.
Yeah.
We can let that go.
Yeah.
And letting go of the energy of frustration, resentment, judgment, and even anger. And many of us hold righteous anger because we want to take action with it, but it is meant to be felt and acted upon in the moment, not held on to in our energy body.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And also release any energy that's squeezing your self-esteem or your self-worth. There's a bunch of energy around not being enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or being too much of something, too sensitive, too loud, too excited.
God. Yeah.
Just really bring that energy back. And bringing the third chakra back into balance, we're also bringing the element of fire back into balance in our body so that we're not burning too heavily where it's going to rage out of control, but also making sure that our light is shining in the intensity that it is meant to.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then moving down into the second chakra and really bringing all of our relationship energy back into balance. I'm sure there was a lot of tugging and pulling happening in the past week around the holidays. Let's bring everything back to equal, to center, to balance, back to the gentle ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And take a moment to release any toxic energy around relationships that you've been holding on to. Staying in connection with people who deplete your energy or who take more than they give back. And even ways that you take more from certain people than you give back. And just really bringing that back to equilibrium.
Yeah.
And then also taking a moment to Allow all of your emotional energy to flow fully. There are no right or wrong emotions. They are all simply indications that your personal boundaries have been crossed or violated. And it is a reaction to that.
yeah,
It's a necessary reaction to that. And so bringing yourself to a place where it is okay to feel all of your feelings and experience them and share them.
yeah,
It is safe to feel.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There we go. And bringing back into balance any energy around addictions that sometimes flare up in the holiday season. Sometimes it's difficult to avoid things that we are addicted to or that others around us are addicted to. It's bringing that energy back into resonance in your own body
yeah,
and honoring our humanness in that.
yeah,
And then moving down into our first chakra and really clearing anything down near the tailbone and down below our body, anything that has to do with our feeling of safety or security, our job, finances, our home, our family of origin, any way that our foundation feels compressed, feels unsteady, if we feel ungrounded, just really opening and allowing the first chakra to lovingly hold and support us. And if that feels wobbly, remember that you can connect it very deeply to the earth and allow the earth to become your ground and hold your first chakra, hold your whole energy system. And opening up the pathways in the hips, allowing our energy to move forward in our spiritual and physical life, allowing us to walk our path. And as the energy moves down into our knees, reminding us to be flexible in what happens around us, to be adaptable to our life and our circumstances. For the more rigid we are, the more we hold energy of compression, especially in the knees and the shins. Really allowing that energy to move down into the ankles and the feet. And feeling beneath the feet, about 3 to 6 feet beneath your feet, how deeply you're connected to the earth. Feel your energy system beneath and really gently allow all that you want to release to go down through the earth, go down through the root system beneath your feet, like you're a giant tree. For that is the symbolism of the tree of life. So imagine your roots that are way beneath the ground that go all the way to the very molten lava center of the earth. They go past rocks and crystals, and dinosaur bones and ancient civilizations. And as you reach the center, feel the heat of the energy of creation. And allow that energy to gently come up and begin to fill in all the places where you have released energy. The divine feminine energy from Grandmother Earth, just nourishing your body, nourishing your energy system, and filling you back up so that you have the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine above and below. And feel the energy as it comes up your legs and fills your torso. How you feel lighter, clearer, fuller, maybe even calmer or more peaceful. When the energy moves up through your belly, it repairs and restores your organs that have been working so hard to lovingly support you.
Yeah.
And bringing the energy up into your lungs and your heart and allowing it to fill in all the chambers of your heart and to fill your energetic heart so you can feel that your heart gently stretches and expands to hold even more energy, even more love, even more compassion. And that love energy begins with yourself and then spreads to share with others. And as that beautiful heart energy begins to overflow, it moves down your shoulders, releasing all that burden energy and just allowing you to feel supported and held as it moves down your arms and into your hands.
Got it. Yeah.
And moving up into your throat and just clearing the way for the authentic truth and authentic self-expression to be brought forth in a brand new way.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
And moving up into the ears and the eyes and the brain to the top of the head and just allowing the energy to overflow, restoring and repairing your aura
Yeah.
in all directions, in all dimensions, and all vibrations. Remembering that our aura has a physical layer and an emotional layer, a mental thought process layer, a spiritual layer, a layer of divine harmony, a layer of connection into all lifetimes. And it's wrapped in infinite love and infinite light.
Got it.
And even allowing it to connect to your karmic debt, clearing any that is ready to release.
Got it. Yeah.
And taking a moment to send healing down to Grandmother Earth for all that she does to love and support us, to feed us, to shelter us, to provide us with air and water, and helping her with her own healing and her evolution, restoring her aura, in all its layers, for we reside in those layers. And now take a moment to send healing to those who have been praying for healing, asking for help or guidance, knowing that the healing energy goes to those who are meant to receive it for their highest best.
Yeah.
And take a moment of gratitude with your spiritual team for reminding you how to heal yourself, how to connect with them, to open communication.
Yeah.
Nice. And now begin to bring yourself back into this moment. You can stretch and yawn. Rub your hands and feet together. Well, maybe not your hands and feet together. You might have to be a little more coordinated than I am right now, but rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, wiggle your fingers and toes, and just bring your energy back into this moment. And if you would like a card drawn for you, all you have to do is ask, and I will be pulling them in the order that they were asked. So, just hang in there. We will get to you. I stay on until everyone gets a reading. That's just how I work this thing. So I don't want to leave anybody out. If you need a message, I want to make sure that you get it. All right, so I'm going to start with Susan. So Susan, your card is Goddess of Shadows. And I'm going to have you take a look at, you can see her chakras lit up, especially the crown, but there is a snake wrapped around her. It's a very blue snake. Oh, and just so people know, the card decks that I'm using today, I have two of them. So there's the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, and the Magdalene Oracle, and they're both by Tony Carmen Salerno. So the Goddess of Shadows is what you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. So this is in what a lot of people call shadow work. And shadow work is when we have parts of ourselves that we have considered bad, and we've put them away and we don't bring them out. And people often are afraid of looking in the shadows because they're afraid that it's going to be dark or evil or bad. But sometimes it just wasn't acceptable to someone else, and so we had to put it away. So when we illuminate our light into the shadow, we can see what's hanging out in there, and it's not all bad. So there's some hidden gift that you have that is in the shadow because it hasn't had an opportunity to come out into the light. So it could be something like you haven't had the opportunity to become an animal healer yet. So it's hiding in the shadows, and you refuse to get a pet because if you have one, you're going to have to do your work. Or for some people, they're told that they're a terrible artist when they're kids, and so they put it away, and yet they're here to create some lovely artwork that we're all waiting for. So don't be afraid of the energy that's in the shadows. Call on the goddess energy to help you remember how to light the way, and be willing to look at those things that maybe have made you anxious or nervous in the past, because there are some beautiful gifts that are hiding for you. in the shadow. Not everything in the shadow is bad. All right, Christine. Your card is transformation. Look at that. So the transformation card is a reminder that our energy is constantly moving and evolving. We don't stay stagnant. Even when we feel stuck, it's because our energy is revving up for the next big thing. So you're in a time of transformation. This is a time where you are stretching and growing. Maybe you've gotten comfortable of Christine being this type of person, and now it's time to kind of break out of your shell and kind of reach a little bit more. And seeing you, I think I've said this to you like a few times in the past few months, seeing you stretch and reach more people. You need to come out of hiding, my dear. People need to know that you exist, but you get to do it the way you would like to, and allow your spiritual team to guide you and show you ways that you can step out of your comfort zone in a way that doesn't feel anxiety producing. Sometimes we get fearful of, the next step. And so you just have to ask your team to gently guide you through so it doesn't have to feel that way. But you are stretching and growing, my dear, and there's a lot of bright light that's meant to come from that. So get on that. All right, Julie. Your card, my dear, is Sacred Sexuality. The Sacred Sexuality card comes in to remind us that our sexuality is connected to our spirituality. We sometimes act as if like we can't be a sexual, sensual being, but the same energy that we use for creation when we're with a partner is also the energy we use to create a new business or create a new book or a new piece of artwork. So if you block one, you block all. So it's reminding you that, you can be a sexual being in a sacred way. And sometimes that's remembering that you're a divine being in a divine temple, and that so are all the other people around us. And when we treat each other as divine, then when we connect on a deeper, more fuller level. And that opens up the creation energy for everything that we do. So what I'm hearing in my head repeatedly is the divine in me honors the divine in you. And think of that when you are in a relationship with someone and you're connecting in an intimate way. And that is when you are connecting heart to heart, and you're also using the second chakra energy with that. It's like all your feeling centers are connecting, and that expands the energy, and it allows for all sorts of beautiful things to be created. So honor that. All right, Andrew. Oh, you switched your profile. New hat, new glasses. I'm liking the theme here. This is an interesting card. You got the Angel of Finances. I didn't even know there was an Angel of Finances, but I'm going to get busy chatting with her. So the Angel of Finances says, honor and give thanks for the blessings you are about to receive. Nice, because all I'm seeing is sort of like an open gateway for money to flow more easily for you. And so remember to ask your spiritual team for what you need. People get so caught up in they don't want to take money or finances or abundance away from someone else. You can't. it's simply energy. So ask for what you need and they will provide for you. But when we think we don't deserve it or we shouldn't have it, then that's what they create for us. They're like, oh, okay, you don't deserve it. Well, then I guess you don't get it. But so ask for what you need and it's all going to come through. It feels like possibly a new job or a new raise or something. It's a stepping forward on your pathway. Because I also feel this big sigh of relief. Like, whew, I don't have to struggle anymore. So I'm not sure what that's connected to, but it sounds very beautiful for the new year. All right, Joanne. Ah, my dear, you have the Matrix. The Matrix card is a reminder that we are all connected. It's not really the movie, but it is much more of the fact that, you know, we are all connected. You know, what I do impacts all the people around me and even other people I don't know. And when we feel all alone, we need to remember that we're part of a collective. We're part of humanity. So what one of us feels and experiences, it ripples through the entire framework. So don't forget how connected you are. Don't forget how to connect to your spiritual team on a fuller level. Ask. You know, they can't provide for you if you don't ask. We've 4 million thoughts running through our heads, and they're not sure which one we actually want. So if we don't speak it or say it or write it down, they don't know it's important to us, even if we spend time on it over and over and over again. Does that make sense? So this is use your ability to connect to the matrix, to connect to this divine network of energy and focus it on what you need and what you desire. And be specific. You know, my favorite phrase is about, you know, when somebody wanted transportation, they just asked for, they asked their guides for transportation. And the next day they got an elephant when they wanted a car. So if you want a car, ask for a car. Don't ask for something like transportation, because you could get a camel or an elephant or something like that. Okay? Be specific. All right. Allie, nice to see you here tonight. Your card is Liberation. Now, the Liberation card is when we step into our own power and we step into our own energy. We go through a phase or many phases where other people control what we say and what we do. Liberation is when you open your heart, you open your truth, and you speak it. And you become free to express who you are. You get to be free to express who you want to be. And it's an energetic freedom that we have and that we're all born with. We don't all remember how to exercise it and speak it, but you are on the brink of that. So don't be afraid to say what you need to say, and don't worry about how other people are going to feel about that. Sometimes we squash our self-esteem and our self-worth to make someone else feel better, like our mom, but that's not serving you and what you're meant to do, okay? So it's time for you to speak your truth and do it from your heart space, because then it will be heard and listened to. All right. So I think we're Mary Ellen now. Ah, you've drawn the Angel of Manifestation. Woohoo! Call it in, girl. The angel of manifestation says your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. Woohoo! So when we've done what they call our due diligence, when we've laid our foundation, when we've done what we needed to do, when we've taken all the steps that are needed along a particular pathway, then there's a reward waiting. And so when we have that kind of perseverance to follow through, that's when the angel of manifestation shows up, and we're gifted with a reward for all our hard work. The angel of manifestation also is here to remind you that you create your own reality. So you can call what your reward is to you even faster if you hold the energy and the knowledge that that's what you are able to do. So what I'm getting is, you know what the reward is, but you think it's like a few months out, and it can be tomorrow. So set the intention that it's coming to you quickly, that I will receive my reward quickly, and it will speed up how quick it arrives for you, because it's like literally not even arm's length away. So take a deep breath and know that you're about to get rewarded, and that you can control how quickly that reward comes in. Hey, I had that happen about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I finally cut cords with, I thought I had cut my cords with someone who was a toxic relationship. And then finally, the last dregs of connection to this person like dissolved. And I'm like, I want to be rewarded like now for all that I put up with. and the next day I got sent a check out of the blue for like $900. So I was excited. I thought that was a nice triple trinity, reward. All right. So Anne, your card, my dear, is Goddess of Oneness. I love how she looks like a tree, but she also has the halo over her head, the divine halo. And so she says, someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. So the Goddess of Oneness is the reminder that we're all connected, we're all part of the same family, and that when you have that moment of your heart feels full, or you just feel this peace come over you, sometimes it is because someone is thinking of you, and someone is remembering something fondly about you, like a memory of holidays gone by or something like that. And so remember that it goes both ways, that you can connect to others simply by lovingly thinking of them and wondering how they're doing. And we've all had the coincidence where you're thinking of someone and then the phone rings, right? And then they're on the other end of the line. That's the energy that's being played out here. So if all of a sudden you think of someone, don't be afraid to call them either, because maybe they're thinking of you and wishing they could reconnect. So we can be the receiver of the message, or we can be the messenger as we connect in the oneness. All right. That sounds lovely too. Lindsay. You got Magdalene tonight. And I'm going to remind you that there's the Magdalene oil that got channeled. So you know it's here. Because the Magdalene oil, remember, it teaches you how to connect with her and how to expand your connection and open up. So she is about connecting you to that beautiful, divine feminine energy. She's here to remind you that the divine feminine runs through all of us. Even when we have times where we have to be so busy and so doing, the feminine energy and the stepping into our own feminine power is really key and really important. So she's sending you a lot of like nurturing mama energy, but to lift you up and to pick you up in a way to help you stand on your own 2 feet. So use your connection to her, use your ability to connect to her, call on her energy to be able to walk your own path. Because remember, she's the one who led the apostles after Christ. So she had the strength to carry on and to spread the message. One woman, right? I mean, Mother Mary as well, but she was one woman and 12 men. So let's think about that. So allow her to help you and call that in, and the strength that can give you as you move forward in this new year and this new chapter of your life is kind of how I'm hearing it. Interesting wording there. All right, Robin. Your card is God of Reflections. Whenever there's water in oracle cards, it's not only the element of water, but it's all about emotions. So the God of Reflections is the qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. So there's a lot of people who discuss mirror work, that other people are your mirror for things that you are to work on in your spiritual path, on your spiritual mission. And when an emotion is triggered in you, then that is often connected to some aspect of yourself. So when we admire other people and we put them up on a pedestal, it's because they have qualities about them that we have hiding somewhere in the shadow inside of us, and we've forgotten about it. So take notice of people that you admire. I'm seeing a homework assignment for you, Robin, so I'm sorry, and you can take it or leave it. But I think it's a good one for a lot of us. Write down some of the people that you admire the most and what you admire about them. What are the qualities that they have that you admire and look up to? And then take a look at how, with those list of qualities, see how they live inside of you, because they do. And when we can realize that we have those qualities inside of us, then all we have to do is find opportunities to bring that out. And how cool would that be in the new year to take all the people who are inspiration for you and find ways to activate that inspiration so maybe you can be the inspiration for someone else. I love that idea. I think I may do that myself. All right. I think that's a really good Star Nation's homework assignment. All right, Lindsay Jerome. I gotta laugh because I know a little bit about Lindsay. The Angel of Space Clearing. Gee, can't imagine what this is about. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Gee. So, the Angel of Space Clearing reminds us that, number one, when we hold on to negative thoughts and ideas and beliefs inside our body, it takes up space. And it takes up space that could be used for our light and our life purpose. So it's time to kind of do an energetic spring cleaning. But we can also do it in our environment as well. When we hold on to old things that we don't need or we don't want or we don't love anymore, then they take up space. And when they take up space, it actually doesn't allow for new things to come in, for new joy to come in, for new love to come in, for new work to come in. And so there's sort of this energetic clutter in you and around you. And sometimes it takes time to work on what's going on in you, but you are in the school, which is good. But to mirror that, you might want to start clearing around you, your environment as well. Pull out the sage and all of that. All right, Nancy. Your card, my dear, is confusion. Now, the confusion card comes in when we're getting mixed messages. It's like somebody's saying something to you, but you're feeling that something different from them, and you can't quite put your finger on it. And so it leaves you feeling confused, and it leaves you second guessing yourself. And that's the big piece. When you're having confusion, you second guess yourself. You second guess your own intuition, and you need to cut that out. Trust your instinct, trust your gut. If something feels off or fishy, it is. And it may not be intentional. It may be that someone, doesn't know the whole truth, or they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're trying to say it in a gentler way. But if you know something's not quite right, then don't assume it has anything to do with you. Trust yourself. Stop doubting your own instincts about this. I feel like there's somebody in particular who likes to create confusion within you so that you are distracted from what they're truly feeling or doing. It's an interesting thing. There's smoke and mirrors attached to it, and there's somebody who doesn't want you to know the whole truth. And so they're sort of helping you have confusion. And it doesn't feel like it's something bad. It just feels like it's something they're embarrassed about. And so trust your instinct, trust your guts, and go with that. Okay? Christine. Glad to see you here tonight. Aw, you have the angel of joyfulness. I love her butterfly wings. She's coming out of a purple lotus too. I don't know if you can see that. So the angel of joyfulness says something wondrous and magical is about to happen. So just know that it's coming. All I can see for you is this surprise. It's almost like a heavenly surprise party. You're getting a gift you weren't expecting, and they're like, surprise. But it's very joyful. It has a lot of excitement attached to it. And yeah, it's just that something wonderful is coming in sort of a surprise package, and look forward to it. Let your inner child know that there's a gift that's on its way. And the more excited you get about it, the sooner it will come. How nice. All right. Cindy Lynn. You got the messenger card, my dear. The messenger card is an interesting one because it's twofold. Sometimes we ignore the messages that we're getting from other people. We don't realize that they're being the messenger for us, that they're giving us the words of wisdom that we've been asking for from our spiritual team, because we want it to come from some voice from beyond. But often it will happen in this really odd way. You know, it'll come from the cashier at the grocery store. It'll come through in, you know, a line on the radio. And we don't realize that that's the message. And this is also to remind you that there are times that you are used as the messenger. So when something pops in your head to say to someone, say it. Don't hold back and don't try to censor it. And that's easy for me to say and difficult to do, because sometimes my team wants me to say something that's very precise, and I try to sugarcoat it. And lately they just go right at my throat chakra. And I'm like, nope, you got to say it the way it needs to be delivered. So I think this message is for you and for me, sweetie, that sometimes we're the messenger. So sometimes you just need to say it the way it is. And that's exactly what they need to hear. And don't be surprised if the least suspecting person becomes your messenger too. Because we have these beliefs around it having to be some angelic presence. But angels can speak through any one of us at any moment in time. So that's for you. All right, Cassandra, I'm going to have a quick sip of coffee. I'm proud of myself. I made it an hour without one. All right. Your card is Angel of New Life. And I love this because she's like looking to the divine and she's blossoming out of the lotus. And there's this beautiful rainbow showing that she has full energy in all of her chakras. And this is about an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. So new life in this new year. So allow yourself to purge any last energy from this past year or from the past that isn't in some kind of fresh new energy. It's almost like a chapter book, you know, like you've reached the end of the chapter and you're going to take a deep breath. And as you step into the new year, you're turning a new page. So just allow that new energy to come in. It's a new expansion of you getting more comfortable with yourself, especially around your spiritual self. You know, initially when we first sort of step out onto our path, we can be a little nervous and a little cautious, and we need to take baby steps, and that's perfectly fine. And so the divine gave you some time to do this, but now it's time to sort of like step into a fuller version of you. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. I hope I get to see it. All right, Rob. You got the Goddess of Sacred Power. She's very concentrated in this picture. So the Goddess of Sacred Power says you are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. So it's an interesting way they're bringing this to me. So hear me out. There are times when we act as if others are controlling our life and our circumstances, like things are happening to me, not for me. And so when we hold that energy, then we can sometimes fall into victim energy. Like, oh no, this is happening to me. Oh no, this is, and I don't feel it in that that degree with you, but it's that vibration of, this is happening to me and I can't control it. And so you're being encouraged through the goddess of sacred power to take control back of your life. You are the creator of your life. You are creating everything that is happening to you and around you. But if you don't change your mindset, then it continues to happen to you, because you're a magnet for it. So if you shift your energy so that you start to be the creator of what you want in your life and how you want your life to unfold and what you want to bring to the table, it's time for you to take charge. It's time for you to take ownership. Ugh, that's the big one. It's time for you to own what's yours. And when you do that, then your life will really begin to shift. Because when we own our good stuff and we own our faults, then we become real. And when we become real, we step closer to our authentic self. And then our real authentic truth and self-expression can come forward and unfold. So it's time for you to step into that, sweetie. All right. And Julie, you got the color card. How interesting for you. So the color card is reminding you that the vibration of color is very important. So what I'm seeing is that the energy that you want to shift, if it's in your first chakra, then you want to have red things around you. You want to wear red jewelry, a red scarf, just to help remind you. If you want to work on opening up your throat, then you want to be wearing blues, a lot of blues, and have blue things around you. Have something blue in your office to remind you to use your throat when you're speaking up for yourself. And you have the ability to use color. You know how to do it. But remember, black blocks energy. So there are times when we want to block our energy and shield ourselves, but there are times when we need to let other people in. And so by wearing those colors and allowing that energy to flow, people actually respond to the vibration of the color. You don't have to do anything. It can just happen when you wear it. So like I'm wearing blue because it keeps my throat chakra open. I do have black on over my back because at the moment I want to keep my back nice and supported, and I want to be sending energy forward. I'm sending all my authentic truth energy forward. So that's the type of thing you want to think about and to concentrate on. Because if you're, when we wear a lot of black, we shield ourselves and we block energy we can't receive love when we're wearing black. How about that? I'll put it that simply. You can't receive love if you're wearing black all the time because there's no room for it to get into your heart. Wear some green or bright pink. All right. Christina, nice to see you this evening. I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait. All right. Good card for you. Angel of Communication. Woo. So the Angel of Communication says, communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Ooh, why does this feel like it has to do with your parents? So this is pretty clear, and I know you've been working on this, that it's really important that we say what we need to say and we say it clearly. And this is just a reminder that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And not everybody's going to receive the truth the way we want it to be received, but you will be heard. If you speak from your heart, your authentic truth will be spoken and it will be heard. They may not be happy about it, but they will hear it. And it's time for you to start communicating that. And in the communication, remember that can also be in writing and it can also be in how you express yourself. So I'm also seeing singing, getting your singing voice back on and using that to communicate how you feel and what you're going through. Because lots of songs speak our truth, right? And when we sing them, it allows that energy to get out there and be heard. All right. All right, Christina. You're welcome for the recharge. You have God of the underworld. Don't freak out. It's not a bad thing. So God of the underworld comes in when something that no longer serves you is about to come to an end. So if you've been going through a struggle, if you've been going through some rough stuff, that's about to end. And just take a deep breath and allow that to let go. It's almost like you've been tortured by some energy. Feels like old trauma, like maybe you've been reliving old trauma and that no longer has to happen. I feel like you've been doing a lot of healing, and so it's about to shift that vibration. So give yourself some space to applaud all that you've gone through, but you don't have to any longer. You can step into your power, step into your light. And, the God of the underworld actually sort of like gives us a step upward. Like like when you stand on somebody's hand to be like lifted up over a wall, that's what I'm seeing. Him handing you up, and you no longer have to be in that energy. How cool is that? All right. Karina. Your card, my dear, is Heart and Soul. What a lovely card. So Heart and Soul reminds us that the way to connect to our soul and the way to connect to our truth and our spirit is through our heart. When our heart is wide open, we can actually feel our soul, feel our authentic self. But when we close our heart, try to shield it and protect it, then we start to disconnect from ourselves, and we disconnect from our sense of who we are. So when you want to reconnect with your authentic self, all you have to do, sweetie, is open your heart and just allow that love energy to radiate out. And then you'll be able to feel it as it kind of, I see it kind of as an opening, but it just sort of blossoms out. And that will give you the space for, the ability to just be yourself. Feel like you've had to fake it for a little while, and you don't need to do that anymore. So just open that heart up and be you. There's no room for it to be anybody else. All right, Violet. Of course you can have a card. This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Goddess of the Sacred Path. Notice it's not a straight line. It's a spiral. It's a spiral path. So this card is let go of the logic and trust your intuition. Our thinking brain can only think about what we already know. Our intuition can tap into infinite possibilities. So our intuition always has access to way more knowledge than our thinking brain ever can possibly hold or achieve. So don't dismiss your thinking brain, but don't let it rule how you live your life. So this is that energy of, seeing is believing, or you have to know it to do it, or trust in that intuition, trust that it's guiding you, and then apply your logic after. So allow the intuition to go, okay, this is the way I'm headed. All right, now that I know this is the way I'm headed, how do I take the steps to get there? So it's the intuition is guiding you how to use your logic. But if you're always using your thinking brain to do everything, you're missing out on 90% of what your spiritual team is trying to tell you. You're just shutting them out. And they stop helping you because, we're not listening. All right, Barbie. Oh, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas too, sweetie. We had a nice quiet one. It was good. All right, yours is Angel of Guidance. Isn't she lovely? So the Angel of Guidance is a renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. So you're basically being guided in a brand new way. And it feels very gentle, like you're being led, not like you're being shoved or pushed or dragged along. I sometimes feel like I'm, running behind a car, being taken along on the fast route, and I got to keep up. This feels very, very gentle. And so you're being guided in a new direction. You're being guided into a new purpose. When we get to a point in our life where we've done most of the stuff that we needed to do, then a new thing pops up as our okay, now that you've finished, you can start doing this. And so it's just a gentle unfolding of a new thing. And it feels very loving and supporting, and there's a lot of joy attached to it. So just be on the lookout for that to be opening. And I feel like that window of opportunity or that door of opportunity is going to open. And don't shy away from it. Don't talk yourself out of it because you're being gently guided in that new direction. Woohoo! That's great. All right. So Barbie was the last card request, but I always pull one for Neshi, because she's got to have one. So Angel of Clearing. Here's your card, Neshi. Your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. Yay! You know this. You've been clearing all the old crap out of the way. You've been making room for new stuff to come in and really trying to purge things so that you can start the brand new year off on a brand new foot. And they're saying, yep, that's what's going to happen for you. So yay! So with that, guys, yes, jazz hands. So with that, guys, thank you for being here. I will be here next week for Soul Connections at 7. I will not have chakra sessions next Tuesday. There will be a replay. But the cool thing is that they're going to be doing trivia. Yay! On Star Nations. And Neshi will correct me if I'm wrong. On Monday at 3 and 8 Eastern Standard Time, we will have live stream shows. And also on Tuesday, yes, 3 and 8 our two go-to times. That's when we will be here, and there's some really cool trivia and some cool stuff from Star Nations. Yay! And I'm going to pull a card for Stephanie for all her hard work. And this one should help you a little bit. The Angel of Psychic Ability. So the Angel of Psychic Ability says your intuitive and psychic abilities are strong at the present moment. So you've been tapping into a lot of psychic energy, my dear. You've really been tapping into your intuition. They're recognizing that, they're honoring that, and they're telling you to do more of that. Once we tap into our psychic and our intuitive gifts, we always feel like it's, this huge thing and it was so hard. And it's usually just a baby step in our abilities. So this is like, keep going, because you're really expanding into yourself, and your gifts are really coming online. I'm sort of seeing things falling in. Yay! Congratulations. All right. And with that, guys, I will see you next week. And have a beautiful new year. So it'll be exciting. I'll see you in the new year. Woohoo! All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.